You're seeing the headlines. Bitcoin is skyrocketing. Ethereum is breaking barriers again. XRP is rising from the ashes. And maybe you're wondering, did I miss the boat again? But what no one is telling you is that what's happening now isn't just a price increase. It's the beginning of a silent, yet powerful movement that could change your financial life for the next 10 years. And if you're young and just starting to invest, this is your chance to play the game from the beginning. Because what's happening behind these price surges goes far beyond speculation. It's a system shift. It's big players making moves. It's the global economy undergoing a transformation where those who understand first reap the greatest rewards. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. So stay until the end, because today you'll understand the real reason behind this surge, what's happening behind the scenes, and how you can position yourself, even with little money, to catch the next big wave of cryptocurrencies. What's behind this price explosion isn't just influencer tweets or sensationalist news. What we're seeing now is a direct result of global decisions being made in silence. Since early 2025, major institutional funds have resumed buying Bitcoin with full force. We're talking about names like BlackRock, Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, companies that don't play games. They know the world is seeking alternatives to the traditional system. With unstable interest rates, inflation threatening purchasing power, and growing distrust in governments, smart capital is running towards scarce and decentralized assets. In this scenario, Bitcoin is being seen as the new digital gold. Ethereum, meanwhile, is riding its own wave, powered by a new phase in its project, with faster transactions, lower fees, and a decentralized app ecosystem that keeps expanding. And XRP, which many had written off, is now strengthening with legal victories and adoption by international banks. What do they all have in common? A new cycle of value appreciation based not just on hope, but on solid fundamentals and real, growing demand. Now, why does all this matter to you? Because unlike in past cycles, this time you can enter with awareness, not desperation. And that's the difference between those who get rich and those who just watch it happen, knowing the right moment to act. Think about it. If you had invested $100 in Bitcoin 10 years ago, you'd have over $1 million today. But hold on, this isn't about regret, it's about vision. The market always gives new chances to those who pay attention. And now is one of those moments. But you need to understand, this isn't about luck. It's strategy. And the best part? You don't need to be an expert or have a ton of money. You just need to start. Start simple. With a plan. Because while you're still asking if it's too risky, some people are quietly buying the future. And soon, it'll seem obvious. It'll be on the evening news, on talk shows, at your aunt's coffee table. But the ones who knew before reaped more. Let's make it simple. Imagine the crypto market as a forest. The ones who arrive first choose where to plant. The ones who come later just chase the shade. Bitcoin right now is like a tree that has endured every season, storms, droughts, and it's still standing strong. Ethereum is like a city being built in real time. And XRP is like a bridge connecting islands that used to be isolated. Now, what about you? You're holding the seed in your hand. Will you plant it now, or wait until everyone's crowding under the shade when it's too late? This is the moment to understand that investing is less about money and more about vision. You can start with $50, $100, it doesn't matter. What matters is starting with consistency. Use secure exchanges, keep a diversified portfolio, don't put everything into one single asset, and most importantly, study, follow, question. And I know maybe right now you're thinking, but what if I mess up? It's okay to mess up. What's wrong is never trying. Mistakes teach you. Staying still traps you. Warren Buffett has a quote that fits perfectly here: risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. In other words, the more you learn, the less risky this becomes. So instead of running away from the market out of fear, get closer with wisdom. You don't have to get every coin right. You just need to be exposed to the right ones, for the right amount of time. Remember, time in the market is more powerful than timing the market. And the earlier you get in, the more compound interest and continuous growth work in your favor. Years from now, it will seem like it was easy. But you'll know you started when no one was sure yet. And you know what's the most powerful part of all this? It's that you're building something no one can take from you. Knowledge. freedom, choice. When you understand how to invest, you change your relationship with money. You stop living just for the next bill and start dreaming with purpose. Maybe today you're earning little, working a lot, feeling like there's never anything left. But if you plant now, with consistency, in 5 years you'll look back and be thankful you took that first step. And you know what's even crazier? You're not alone. There's an entire generation waking up right now. People who are tired of watching others get rich and decided to take action. And you're part of it. Now that you understand the current landscape and how to position yourself, the question that comes up is, all right, but how do I avoid getting scammed? And here's where a critical point comes in. The crypto market is promising, but it's also full of traps. And the worst part? Many of them come disguised as opportunities. What you see most out there are promises of quick riches, miracle signal groups, pyramid schemes dressed up with fancy names, and influencers who speak well but sell smoke. And that's where many young people crash, because they come in thinking they'll double their money overnight. But the real game is something else entirely. The game is about building. Those who want quick results too badly end up becoming profit for those who have patience. You need to understand, urgency is the enemy of financial freedom. And when you educate yourself, you gain the only thing no one can steal from you: discernment. The ability to look at an opportunity and know whether it's based on something solid or just driven by hype. Learning to invest is like learning to drive. At first, it seems hard, but with practice, you gain confidence. And most importantly, you start avoiding accidents. A lot of people look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP and only see the chart going up. But let me tell you what very few people show. Behind these assets are projects with long-term vision, purpose, and mission. Bitcoin is not just digital code. It represents a financial system without central control. A way to protect your wealth from inflation, from governments, and from policies that don't care about you. Ethereum is much more than just a currency. It's the infrastructure for a new internet, where you can build apps, smart contracts, and business models without asking anyone for permission. XRP, controversial as it may be, is solving a real problem that banks have faced for decades: how to transfer money internationally in a fast, cheap, and secure way. So the big insight here is to stop seeing crypto as a magic asset that will make you rich and start seeing it as a technology that can transform the world and your life in the coming years. And that changes everything. Because when you understand the why, the how, and the what for of an investment, you stop being a gambler and start being a builder. Now let's talk about a very common mistake among beginners: not having an exit plan. Yes, getting in right is important. But knowing when and how to exit is what separates those who profit from those who lose everything. Imagine you plant a tree. You're not going to cut it down after the first fruit. But you also won't wait until it rots without harvesting. You need a strategy. And with crypto, that's essential. You have to set clear goals. For example, if I invest $500 and that amount doubles, what will I do? Will I take out half and let the rest grow? Or, when I hit 200% profit, do I sell it all and reinvest in another project? This is called emotional and rational investment management. Because the market is cyclical. And if you don't have rules, you'll end up selling at the bottom out of fear and buying at the top out of greed. Exactly the opposite of what you should do. Having an exit plan is respecting your own effort. It ensures that, even if everything goes wrong, you still come out better than you started. That's intelligence. That's maturity. That's freedom. At this point in the video, maybe you're feeling excited, inspired, but also filled with questions. And you know what's great? That's a sign you're financially alive. People who never question themselves don't grow. So now I want to talk to you who's starting with little. Who's still earning minimum wage, who feels like there's never anything left, who looks at those Bitcoin numbers and thinks, this isn't for me. But I want to tell you, yes, it is. Because it's not about how much you have. It's about how you think. A young person investing $100 a month, with consistency and intelligence, can achieve more in 10 years than someone who invests $10,000 emotionally. Because the secret is in time, not in the amount. Consistency wins. It's the habit of investing a little every month, learning more, correcting mistakes, following the market. The person who focuses on the process, not just the result, that's the one who wins. So if today you only have $50, that's okay. Start with that. What matters is that it's real. That it's yours. That it's the beginning of the turning point you deserve to live. To close this video, I want to invite you to think about the future. Not that distant future of retiring at 65, but a near future. 3, 5, 10 years from today. Where do you want to be? Still stuck in the same job you hate? Relying on favors? Or living in freedom, choosing where to work, where to live, even where to travel? It all starts with a choice. And today you made one. The choice to understand, to learn, to stay informed. That already puts you ahead of 90% of people who are on autopilot. And if you stay on this path, if you study, apply, fail, adjust, and don't give up, you'll get there. And you'll look back with pride. Pride for starting before everything seemed obvious. For believing when no one around you understood. And I'll be here to remind you of that. So share this video with someone you love. Subscribe. Leave a comment saying what you're going to do starting today. Because you're no longer just a viewer. You're the protagonist of your story. And it's only just beginning. So look at yourself now and answer truthfully. Are you going to keep being a spectator, or are you ready to play the game? Because financial freedom won't fall from the sky. But it can be built with simple steps taken every day. If this video made sense to you, if it sparked something, then share it with someone else who needs to hear this. Send it to your family group, DM a friend, spread this seed. And comment below what impacted you the most. I read every comment. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and follow me on this journey. Because from now on, we no longer accept living on autopilot. We choose. And today, you chose to invest in your future. Congratulations! Now let's go to the next step. The crypto world won't wait, and neither will your future.